200 to Lebanon. And part of what we have been doing all year long is researching the history of Lebanon, Virginia. Now, I don't know if any of you know, there is not really a book that anyone's written about the history of Lebanon. So we had a lot of research to do, and these students have been working on it since September. We've got things from personal interviews, from court documents, from actual letters from people who lived here during the Civil War, to court documents and things found in the courthouse. So we've got a lot of really awesome stuff. So everything you see on the stage, in the play, whether it be someone speaking to you or the acting that's going on, has been found somewhere in record for the history. Now it is a one act. We've never written a play before. So everything you see on stage, music, the set design, and the acting is student-led and student-centered. And we're so excited for that because they have been working really, really hard. To take you a little bit through the play, you are going to meet William Reeves Gilmer. He was an actual soldier during the Civil War. So William, his sister Martha, and his brother John will read some letters. They are actual letters. So if you see on your playbill, there's a set of resources of things that we use. You can actually go online and read their correspondence with each other. It's pretty cool. So you're going to see that on stage, and that is straight from the letters that they wrote to each other. I'm going to thank some people, so if you all will be kind to me and let me thank these, because it took a lot to get this together. So first of all, I just want to thank the whole community of Lebanon. There have been people that have been willing to come in and talk to us about things and really sit down and give us a little insight, and we could not have done that without them. And also people in the community who have kind of backed us and helped us make this production. So first of all, the town of Lebanon, because they really allowed us to do this, and to the 21st Century Community Learning Center's after-school program, which helped fund us. It's expensive to put on a production. I also want to thank the Lebanon Town Council, and especially Mary Stanley, because she is my PR person, and she has done really awesome in all of that. And I also want to thank another teacher here who's some of this amazing artwork. She helped the students, and that's April Ragouge. It's beautiful. We were in a bind, and she came in and she helped us out, and we are so grateful for that because it's gorgeous, right? I also want to thank the sponsors in the playbill because they helped us out, and that's going to help fund next year's show. And we also have a one-act competition that we have to fund, and all the other community members. You all are great. You come out, you support us, and it's really important that we support the arts and our students, and I appreciate you so much. And finally, the people, the rock stars, parents, grandparents, family members, thank you all for sharing your students with me. They are wonderful, and I love them, and you're going to see. I mean, they are just amazing. So thank you so much for giving this time. So without further ado, I'm going to stop talking because I am not interested, but they are. So this is Carry Me Back.
Delaware, September the 19th, 1864. Dear sister, I once more take my seat to write you all a few lines, to let you all know that I'm alive and well, with the exception of a cold. But I'll be all right in a short amount of time. Martha, I want you to write often. I'm almost crazy to hear from home.
Lebanon, Virginia. Dear brother, I reckon you feel like you've almost forgotten, but you are not. For we haven't had any mail since the Yankees came to Abingdon a few days ago. Pa finally got some paper and he said I could write it in. We are tolerably well. Well, except for the small rations. Now, I seen your girl the other day and she said she was going to make her sweetheart some sugar. Oh, the sugar camps are up again and we are all very excited. And, well, I received your letter you sent by him. And Captain Smith said you both make it home for the winter. Your sister, Martha J. Gilmer.
Dear Martha, there is not half the excitement here now within 14 miles of the enemy as there was in Lebanon the day we left. In fact, there is no excitement here at all. I want to hear from our brothers, Hayes and Cummings, for I know they've been fighting since I last heard. I don't know whether they are dead or alive. Martha, when you write again, write more than you wrote before. I want to hear from home. Home. Give my respects to all the children. Also, Mom, Pa, your brother, W.R. Gilmer.
Dear Lord, please, just carry him back to us.
To Lebanon.
Away, you rolling mountains.
Oh, Virginia, I long to see you.
Away, I'm bound away from my old mountain home.
Been a few long years since last I saw you. Away, rolling mountain.
Been a few long years since last I saw you.
Away.
I'm bound away from my old rich mountain home.
Finally, carry me back home.
Hello? Yes! Yes, I'm actually working on that right now. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot of really good stuff. Yeah. Of course. Tomorrow? Sure! I'll definitely be ready for that.
have been a prisoner and been exchanged, or was captured, and I find from this letter the same day your brother was arrested, captured too. And I picked up this letter, doubtless lost, from an exchanged prisoner to whom your brother had given to carry back to you. I opened it to see if it was any importance, and I find it is from a dear brother. So I will put a stamp on it and mail it back to you. And I'd also be glad to know if you'd receive it. A.S. Brubeck, Middlebrook, Augusta County, Virginia.
Oh no. I wonder if I could research the sky and see if he made it home before he was killed.
Killed? Died? William Reeves Gilmer, at your service, ma'am. Sadly, the answer to your question is no. I so badly wanted to go home, but I died in a camp just a short while after trying to send out that letter. I never saw those beautiful mountains again.
I don't understand. What does all this mean? Why are you...
Well, it looks like you're working on something. It seems pretty special.
I don't seem to be getting anywhere. I know there's something good here. I just can't seem to sift through all this fast enough. All these marriage records and death records, it's enough to make your head spin. I must be losing my mind. But you're the most alive thing here.
Well, that's why I'm here. History is alive if you look into it. Tell a man's story, and he gets to live on. I need your help to carry me back, and I'll help you. I'll show you the richness of your home place to carry you back. I'll show you that you and I, we are what we are because our ancestors were what they were. And they chose a bit of land marked on the map. Lebanon, Virginia.
Virginia, I want to see you. Away, you rolling mountain. Oh, Virginia, I long to see you. Away, I'm bound away from my old Lynch Mountain home. Monterey, July 31st, 1861. Dear Ma and Pa, I am happy to learn that all is well at home, or as nearly so as could be expected at this time. I hope our abundant crops will be put in the stack in good time. It stands us in hand to be saving. But yesterday was the only lonesome day that I've experienced since I left home. I cannot account for it. There was nothing more to make me more lonesome than usual, but I was. It seemed that I ought to be at home. I noticed the cheerfulness and the sweet singing of the pretty birds and the gentle breezes from the mountaintops. These and other circumstances seem to say I ought to be at home, there to meet Ma and Pa, brothers and sisters, relations and friends, and to listen to the sweet singing of our own pretty birds here in Lebanon.
That's my brother for you. The poet in the family for sure. He was always better at letter writing than me, but he's right. There's a reason our ancestors looked at these hills and decided that this was a good place to settle. It all started, I suppose, with William Russell.
William Russell, a colonel in the Revolutionary War and an aide in drafting the Declaration of Independence, saw an unmistakable beauty and adventure in these mountains. In the summer of 1770, Russell and his family set out for Kentucky, the land of milk and honey. But when they came to this area, they couldn't help but notice the beauty in the land. The forest full of game, the music in the mountains, the clear rushing water, and the little bit of
Russell County was formed in 1786, and the seat was near Castle's Woods, where Russell had originally settled. But years later, the county needed a new seat. And although Lebanon doesn't have a river or a railroad running through it, it had something that Russell himself had been drawn to this area by: clear, rushing water in the form of 4 springs fed by Big Cedar Creek. This area also had fertile valley and lands to settle. When the settlers came, they couldn't help but notice the abundance of trees all around.
Just a little farther up here, we should be close to that big creek yonder. Well, that's where the springs went off from. Enough cool, fresh water for what we need.
It's beautiful here. Look at all the trees. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon.
What was that?
You remember Psalms 92:12. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. And shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Look around. There's cedars everywhere. Doesn't it remind you of the cedars in the Bible? The cedars of Lebanon? Mama's right. It's beautiful.
I think it's a sign.
The cedar has a strong, firm root, a good foundation. Sounds like a good place for a town.
It sure feels right. It seemed
A good place to farm, to grow.
to settle with the family.
And in 1819, Lebanon became a town.
A town filled with the promise of a strong foundation for its future. A town rooted like the sea.
A good place to grow corn, wheat, oat, beans, potatoes, tobacco.
Turnips too. Those greens make great food for people and cows alike.
Sorry. Lebanon and her surrounding mountains and valleys were at one time home to some of the largest and some of the smallest farms east of the Mississippi. Farming was a successful way of life, not only for governors and senators, but for many tenant farmers that worked on large farms, such as Stewart Land and Cow Company. These men and women worked, played, and they worked some more to build the community of their town. And farming, it was a hard job.
Look at the sky, Charlie. It's almost quitting time.
Let's get this last little bit finished. We ain't gonna get that 7 cents we've been working for all day.
Man, I'm beat.
I know. At least we finally got finished. I don't know if I'll be able to make it home or not. I think I'll just stay right under this tree and spend the night.
At least you'd be ready for work in the morning, but I don't think Mama will like that very much, though.
Large farms such as Stewart's helped pave the way to make Russell County one of the foremost counties in livestock production. The men of this area would band together, from planting to growing the feed necessary for the sheep and cattle. It was a full job for everyone when it came to stacking hay. All right, boys, let's get to work. There would be men with horse-drawn mowing machines, and others would be stacking hay in the shops with pitchforks. That could weigh 75 to 100 pounds at a time. But needless to say, everyone was ready for supper time. The women who worked in the field and in the home were ready with some delicious fare.
Freshly made biscuits. Hickory smoked bacon boys. Outside Charlie. Wild blackberry preserves. And fresh apple butter pie. Now, Charlie, after dinner, you go up the hall and get some fresh water. Then I might tell y'all about a story of our friend Jack. Jack? The one about Jack and the robbers, Mama? You mean the one about Jack and the Hanks? Ah!
Man, that's my favorite.
That Jack gets in the most exciting mischief.
Kinda like you, Charlie.
After dinner chores get done and you'll never know.
Life wasn't always perfect in these board and batten houses, but sometimes it felt close. But other times, when the darker side of human nature got in the way, the courts of Lebanon were there to step in.
Everyone, please rise. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Silence is commanded on pain of fine and imprisonment while the circuit court of Russell County is in session. All those having pleas to enter. Suits to prosecute.
easy it is.
Court has been held in Lebanon since 1818, when the first Lebanon courthouse was built. There have been 3 courthouses in Lebanon, and court was even held in the Methodist church when the second one burned.
You can't stop justice, I suppose.
Anyway, because of this, Lebanon has always been a hub for community and business in Russell County. The courts bring people together, sometimes in a not-so-polite fashion. Take William Perry, for example, who took Henry Childs to court over a skillet, a quantity of coffee, a bunch of flowers, some tin cups, and 1 cow. For Anne Jessie, who shall keep the peace and be of good behavior towards all citizens of this Commonwealth, and especially towards the said Margaret Robinson for the term of 12 months. Miss Jessie had a hard time with that one, I think. And finally, I bring you to Mr. Sneed.
Mr. Sneed, you are hereby convicted of manufacturing ardent spirits.
Ardent spirits?
Moonshine. Interested yet?
Your fine will be $100 to be paid immediately.
Oh, Your Honor.
I do not look kindly on this matter, sir, and I should not hope to see you before me again.
It says here he even left for Texas with his wife and child at the time.
Yeah, but he came back.
Of course he did.
It seems like a hard life, you know, settling, farming, and war.
Yes, but there's things about this town to make even the bad times seem good. Family, learning, and fellowship. Now listen, even in the darkest times, there's always a light, both in history and the present. My brother John had an act for finding that light.
These and other circumstances seem to say I ought to be at home, there to meet Ma and Pa, brothers and sisters, relations, and friends. But when my attention was turned, and I saw things about me as they were, how quick the change, the valleys, even the mountaintops, thickly dotted with tents, the roads trembling from one end to another with rolling wagons, the muskets, rifles, and cannons glistening in the sun, ready to send the missiles of death whizzing through the air. The tired soldier resting his frame upon the ground, the sick with no bed, nor mother nor sister by his side. These circumstances speak too plainly that all is not well. Yet, God is looking down upon all this with an impartial eye. All is safe in His ever-watchful care.
Yet God's looking down upon all this with an impartial eye.
All is safe
In His ever-watchful care.
You see, there's always a place where the light shines the brightest. The churches of Lebanon help to provide that light with a place of fellowship and love.
Love the Lord your God, all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and all your spirit. This is the first and the greatest commandment.
Amen.
The second is this: love your neighbor as you love yourself. There are no commandments greater than these. Lebanon is filled with churches that work to provide this fellowship and love every day. You know, one of the first churches in Russell County can be found not too far from the town limits. Elk Garden Church provided many of the families who worked on the local farms a place for comfort and community. It's even said at one time they had a reverend that played the trombone from the pulpit. I guess I need to brush up on my musical skills. Over the years, churches would spring up all over our town. Some of the earlier ones include Lebanon Methodist and Lebanon Baptist, which paved the way for all sorts of different churches to settle in and worship. Fellowship didn't just stop in the church, however. Tent revivals and meetings would spring up in town You know, one example of these was a Grove meeting at Leonard Farm, where people would come to eat, listen to the gospel, and have a fun time with a beautiful mountain backdrop. But I'd say one of the most honored traditions of any Lebanon church is the children's Christmas play. As you can see, it was quite the spectacle.
The angel said unto them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in cloths lying in a manger."
This is one example of how a local church helped grow the future of our community. And look at all those bathrobes. A few years in, the congregation could always tell which families participated just by the bathrobes alone.
Look at that little shepherd. That must be dismissal.
Hey, look, there's the Fuller girl. She's grown up so much.
Who is that one in the plaid? The Howers must have gotten a new robe. It's a nice one.
Merry Christmas, everyone! May this season bring you joy and blessings.
Gathered like that sure does bring back fond memories.
I can't imagine Christmas time anywhere but London. There's this big parade. Everyone comes together and watches the pretty floats and listens to the music. Everyone is always so cheerful. Actually, no. My most favorite thing is when they light up that big Christmas tree beside the courthouse. I love driving by it and wishing for snow. What was Christmas like for you?
Well, John and I would pray that the ice on Ma and Pa's land would freeze over so we could go ice skating. And we'd also sneak out to the barn at midnight to see if we could hear the animals talking.
Hear the animals talk?
You bet that Christmas time in Lebanon was something magical. It was said that on Christmas Eve night, all the barn animals, they could talk.
Really? You're kidding. It sounds like a tale to me. Well, how about when you were older?
Well, Christmas was all about spending time with family. We'd head up to Ma and Pa's on Christmas morning. We'd go hunting for what was fixing that night. We tried to get a good-sized turkey, but either way, we ate good. Christmas in Lebanon was something special. Christmas is away from here. They were pretty somber. One time, a friend of mine sent me a bottle of brandy. Calling my comrades up to the bunk to taste the cherished fluid of disappointment. Somebody replaced that brandy with water and sent it in. I pray that the Yankee who played that joke lived to repent it. But you weren't always that bad. To make it seem just as much like Christmas as possible, we put a tree up in front of the tent to talk about how much we missed home. We always wondered if they missed us just as much as we missed them.
I sure wish he could be here. We just ain't Christmas without him.
When's the last time you heard from him?
It's been months. Oh, I wonder if he's okay. I just worry about him so much.
Martha, don't go getting upset about this now. It's Christmas Eve. Let's just try to enjoy this night together. Come on up here, kids. We've got a tree to decorate.
I want to put the star on the tree. No fair. You did it last year. Let me do it.
Now, kids, your mama worked hard on this star. I don't see why you both can't do it. Charles, help me lift him up here.
Dear Lord, wherever he is, just carry him back to us.
Carry me. Oh,
Dear Lord, wherever he is, please,
oh.
just carry him back to us.
I have been a prisoner of many things. What's that to say? I signed this letter to say that your brother was released.
Please just carry me back. Lebanon has known its fair share of wars over the past 200 years. Families like my own prayed that their loved ones would return from the fight. These courageous veterans flew a long way from home, sacrificed it all while missing Christmases, birthdays, marriages, births, and even deaths. Lebanon has sent many brave men and women into the major battles of our time. Some joined William Russell in the fight for liberty in the Revolutionary War, even before Lebanon was made a town. Some, like myself, sacrificed it all in the Civil War. Lebanon has sent many, many brave souls into both World War I and World War II, the Korean War and the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, and many operations like the Iraq War and the war in Afghanistan after 9/11. The sacrifices made by these brave souls allowed the citizens of Lebanon to prosper and enjoy the freedoms of peace and liberty. Because of veterans like these, Lebanon has grown into a safe place for health, education, and community.
Health, education, and community. The rugged Appalachian hollows and ridges made early medicine in the area hard work. Most doctors rode horses and mules over miles to provide house calls for their residents. But because of doctors like Daniel Trigg, Walter Carlton Elliott, and his brother James, modern medical advances have made a home here in Lebanon. From only a dozen beds in Bay's building to Lebanon General Hospital, and finally to a large institution known as the Russell County Medical Center. Lebanon has come a long way in providing care for its citizens. Pencil scratch, bells ring, and children from all over the area gather here to learn at Lebanon High School, which was once known as Russell College. Many of our younger students went to smaller elementary schools and then gathered here in town for more learning.
School's all right and all. My favorite part about town happens after school. Milkshakes down at the pharmacy with my friends, or the best hot dogs in town, down the street with my family. Oh, but the best part about town happens on Saturday afternoon. We get to go see a picture show at the Russell. Only a dime gets you a double feature of a Western, cartoon, series. Oh, that Lone Ranger, that was my favorite.
Town is the center of buzz for dates, ball games, gossip, schoolwork too, I hope.
Of course, miss.
Lebanon is a town filled with the promise of a strong foundation for its future due to the sacrifices of its past. This town has had the honor to educate and graduate farmers and leaders, doctors and lawyers, builders and caretakers, dreamers and teachers, all strong citizens that can contribute to their community.
And in 1819, Lebanon, Virginia became a town filled with the promise of a strong foundation, a town where
These
like
men and
here.
women worked, played, and worked some more to build the community of
Life wasn't
Alabama.
always perfect in these board and batten houses, but sometimes it
Other
felt close.
times, when the darker side of human nature got in the way, the courts of Lebanon were there to step in. You can't stop justice.
Now
I suppose.
listen, even in the darkest time, there's always a light. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. There are no commandments greater
Carry
than these.
him back
Carry
home.
me back to Virginia.
A place of health, education,
And community.
I need your help to carry me back, and I'll help you. I'll show you the richness of your home place to carry you back. Show you that we, you and I, we are what we are because our ancestors were what they were. And they chose a bit of land marked on the map, Lebanon, Virginia.
and in 1819, Lebanon, Virginia became a town. A town my own ancestor, William Reeves Gilmer, longed to hear about on his long journey away from home. A town filled with promise of a strong foundation for its future. A town rooted like the cedar. I understand now, Gilmer. I hope now you can finally feel at peace. Here, carried back home.
Two more shows. We've got another one tomorrow at 7:30 and then one at 2:30 on Saturday. We'd love for you to come on out and enjoy it again if you'd like it. So thank you so much.